What is going on, guys? It is Marco here from the MRM Marco Reviews movie channel. Today with the first ever review for the channel, that being 2023's Cocaine Bear. Before we do get into my thoughts and my overall review of the film, first off, I'd like to thank you all for checking out the channel. The support from for the Instagram page as well as the shorts on YouTube has been absolutely phenomenal. Really, I just want to pretty much get the housekeeping out of the way. Remember, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and also leave your thoughts in the comment section below about what you thought of Cocaine Bear. So yeah, we are talking about Cocaine Bear today, and I am emphasizing that there are no spoilers. This will be a spoiler-free video. I am aware that it is still in cinemas, so you know, definitely check it out if you've got the time. But without further ado, let's get into Cocaine Bear. And I think the best place to start off is the director and the cast and crew and the cast. So, Cocaine Bear is directed by Elizabeth Banks, who prior to that had directed the Charlie's Angels reboot. And while that film wasn't successful, I do feel she definitely rebounded with Cocaine Bear. Now, the film does star Kerry Russell, Ray Liotta in his final role before his death, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. And the overall plot of the film is that a bear ingests about 20 kilos of cocaine, and somehow these characters in the film just end up in this forest that this bear is located, and the bear kind of goes on a cocaine-fueled rampage, and they basically just have to survive this cocaine-fueled rampage. That is basically the overall plot, and I don't really want to waffle on any more about it. I guess the first thing I do want to talk about is for starters, that this film is actually also based on true events. There actually was a bear that did ingest cocaine. However, the real story is the bear, spoilers, did die from the cocaine ingestion, and that the drug dealers, the whole cocaine story is based off a true story. But now I do want to get into sort of my overall thoughts of the film, and starting from the positive aspect. First thing is just, I really love the story of the film. The idea that a bear takes cocaine and just goes on a cocaine-fueled rampage is just absolutely hilarious to me. And at first I was a bit sort of skeptical about this movie because I didn't think you could achieve an idea like that, but the way it was written and the way it was executed on film, I thought was absolutely great. Another thing to point out are the characters as well. A lot of the characters and the acting was actually pretty good. Ray Liotta was definitely a standout for me, and Kerry Russell as well. And O'Shea Jackson Jr. was also really funny as well. Alden Ehrenreich is also in it, and he plays... Actually, I won't reveal that, better to see it in cinemas. But he was actually also pretty good, and there were a lot of side characters as well that I thought were really good in the film, and I really enjoyed. Now, another aspect of the film I really loved was the violence of the film and the gore that was involved. I actually thought the violence was like really well done, and considering with the bear as well, you know, I thought it was really great. It also felt realistic, like that's what you would expect a bear on cocaine to do. You know, just the way it was... I won't spoil it, but just the violence involved, it was just absolutely great. I also thought some of the comedy was pretty good. It was more just sort of like one-liners here and a bit of coarse language, which is probably just for younger audiences, just to look out for that. But yeah, the comedy overall I actually thought was pretty good, and some of the jokes did land pretty well and definitely got a laugh out of me and the friends I went to go see it with. Now, of course, with such a great movie, there were some negative aspects. Probably the first thing was the pacing of the film. I thought that at times the film kind of deviated here, like not really necessarily deviated, but there were times where I felt like it was a little slow building up, especially at the start before we do get introduced to the Cocaine Bear. There's this sort of exposition sort of point that feels kind of... I understand that it's trying to set up the movie and why the characters are there, but to me it felt just a little bit unnecessary at times, and I felt like, okay, when are we actually going to get to this bear on a cocaine-fueled rampage? On top of that as well, there were also certain characters that I feel could have probably been left out of the story, and I won't specify which characters, perhaps in the spoiler review, but yeah, there were just sort of specific characters that were just kind of there purely by happenstance and by circumstance. They weren't really there to, I guess, progress the plot, in a sense. And actually, that was, if we do go back to the positive aspects really quick, I really like the idea of wrong place, wrong time, because a lot of the characters are just there at the wrong place, wrong time, but just in that case, there were some characters that I felt that were in the wrong place and definitely the wrong time, but also not really wrong film, but just they didn't really fit into the plot overall. Otherwise, the movie was pretty good overall. You know, I think, as I said, the comedy I did feel did stick and land for most of the time. There were maybe a couple of jokes that are a bit cringy here and there. And, you know, there maybe were a few scenes that I'm like, okay, this is probably going on a bit longer than necessary. But I think, for sure, the film, I think, was pretty cohesive overall. And I think the actors definitely carried the film. Definitely carried the whole film. Actually, probably one thing was maybe some slight visual effects. Some visual effects were really good. I really liked some of the effects that were used for, you know, different areas, whether it be like blood and gore, you know, that sort of stuff. I will say one thing, that the bear is CGI as well, and I thought that was pretty consistent for the majority of the film. Otherwise, visual effects was pretty good, and I actually found it really, really, you know, really well done. Otherwise, the directing was pretty good, and, you know, yeah, really maybe just the pacing and certain characters I felt could have been a lot better. But really, besides that, I really enjoyed the film, and I honestly think it's one of the best films of 2023. Of course, we are expecting more films later this year, including, you know, The Flash, Shazam, this is just off the top of my head, Aquaman as well. You know, these are just movies I'm interested in. If there's any other movies I should check out this year, definitely leave them in the comment section below. I know there's a horror movie coming out called The Pope's Exorcist. But as for now, I do feel, and comparing this as well to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, you know, as a standalone film and as Elizabeth Banks' potentially second directed film, I definitely felt that Cocaine Bear was the better movie out of Ant-Man, and just the writing felt better. You know, it definitely deserved that MA rating considering what was in the film, and just overall the comedy, the gore and the violence was just absolutely incredible, and I really enjoyed it overall. So if I was to honestly give it a rating out of 10, I would probably say it gets a solid... because as I said, you know, besides the pacing and certain characters, the movie just felt cohesive, and there was never a moment where I was like really bored and thinking, I want to walk out of the cinema. You know, I was engaged the whole time. I was laughing. You know, I was shocked, surprised, even scared at a bit times. But, you know, overall, an absolutely banger film, and but regardless, somehow that brings us to the end of the first review for the MRM YouTube channel. I thank you all for watching, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you have seen the film. Do tell me. I would love to have a discussion, and if you think what I said was maybe incorrect, or perhaps I left out some stuff, say so in the comment section below. I'd absolutely love to have a discussion with you guys as well. Remember, don't forget to like the video as well, and, you know, share it among your friends and all that. Really helps grow the channel, and I really appreciate the support. And you know, don't forget to subscribe as well. Once again, really helps grows the channel, and thanks for the support overall. And I guess that's about it. You know, definitely go check out Cocaine Bear 100%. And until the next video, keep watching movies.